every NBA playoff team. That's a team. My bad. I meant NBA playoff team. So every NBA playoff team X factor. So we're gonna be counting the play-in teams as well.
Can we just go East 1 to 10 and then West 1 to 10?
That's what we're gonna be doing. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's start off with the East. The Celtics. Who are the X factor for the playoffs this season?
Jason Tatum. I feel like whatever.
Sorry.
I feel like whatever. That's a good answer though. I feel like whatever happens like around the team, it's like everybody else could play great. If Jason Tatum doesn't show up, then they're just not going to win. So like no matter you could say Chris Stacks or what it does for the defense and the offense or whatnot, if Jason Tatum don't show up, the team's not going to win.
I 100% agree with you. I think this is one. I know we talked about it before. Latif was like, it shouldn't always be someone's best player, and I agree. But this is one where Tatum has not shown up before in the playoffs. And they lose, and you need Jason Tatum to show up. So he has to be an S-back. You know what I mean? He has to. It's like there's no if, and, or their buts. Like this is the year he has to. I say Chris Stops. Chris Stops playing at an elite level, offensively and defensively, significantly raises their ceiling, especially against everybody else. When Chris Stops can play at his best, it helps out the team so much better.
The Celtics are like great without Kristaps this season. I'm not gonna lie. The fate of the Celtics season lies on Jason Tatum. His value is in the playoffs. And you look at his on and off numbers, they're still a great team in the regular season without him on the floor. When you go to the playoffs, it's a completely different thing. They need him to be great in order to win the championship. If he is not, they will not win. They have no chance to beat the Nuggets unless Jason Tatum is a tier 1 NBA player. So he is definitely the X factor this season for me. Next team is the 2 seed and is the Bucks.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I feel
to
it.
Score. Oh, sorry. Yep.
Now I'm about to say it's Damian Lillard, but I feel like it's for like other things than like not like basketball related, but not basketball related. Like the whole NBA world feel like Dame deserves this. Like he deserves a chance to go win a chip. He deserves whatever he had to deal with in Portland. You know, bad owner. Well, not bad owner, but like incompetent like GM and bad team construction, which a lot of great players have to go through. They just suffer through it. Without all the everybody pandering, trying to get him help and whatnot. Dame's not a great playoff performer. Outside of round one, he's not good. And yeah, you could for me, everybody's arguing be like, oh, he was the main guy. He's a small guard and whatnot. He need help, take the load off and whatnot. He has the help now. Like now he's the second best player. He's seeing the second best defender. Like for me, he should be able to do those Herculean effort type things, give you 30 against your second best defender. And that's what they thought they were getting this year, and they haven't gotten that. But for them to, feel like they would, did good trading away Drew Holiday, thinking like that was going to keep Giannis around and that they have a chance to actually compete, Dame has to be all NBA Dame from last year, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. That he has to be that guy. He has to be 30 points per game. He has to be that specific person. We haven't seen it yet. That's the only way this team is ever going to do anything because they let go of their best perimeter defender, their point of attack defender. And you've seen that they did it because their defense has been bad. So you have to be able to offset that bad defense with great offense, and that's what they were thought they were getting with Dame Lillard. So he has to show up no matter what.
I agree. I think if Dame scores 30, 35 a game, which is crazy, but for Dame it's realistic, this team is easily in Eastern Conference Finals, can compete with Boston.
Again, we all have the same one. My X factor is Damian Lillard. They are 28-6 when he scores 25 plus. So they're a great team. I think he drops 30. They're 17-2.
Yeah, I'm about to say when it's 30, it's like 17-1, 17-2, something like that.
So they're pretty much
playoffs. So
they pretty much unbeatable when Dame actually plays to his capability. So it's obviously Damian Lillard. For the Cavs, I'll go first. The Cavs X factor this playoffs is Isaac Okoro. They need him to be knocking down his 3-point jump shots for him to be able to stay on the floor in the playoffs. The reason he didn't get burned last playoffs is because he could not hit shots. He's been an elite defender on the perimeter this year. And so for him to be effective in a playoff series, he needs to be hitting the shots. That was one of the biggest problems for the Cavs last year against the Knicks. Their spacing was terrible. And so they needed him to be able to make open threes. And he's been doing that this year while providing elite defense. Isaac Okoro is the Cavs X factor this season in the playoffs.
I think the Cavs X factor is that whole front court section, whoever's out there from 3 to 5. Last year they got bullied, tossed around by the Knicks. I don't think based on the matchup they're going to be able to face the Knicks this year, so that shouldn't be an issue. They will see Indiana. That should be an easy thing. But last year their front court got utterly, outplayed between Mobley and Jared Allen. The Brights was too light and whatnot. Isaac Okoro, if he's at the 3, technically he's part of that front court. So he also has to be able to balance between guarding that best perimeter player and shooting that corner 3. Evan Mobley has to give out some type of offense. Jared Allen just has to be do what he's been doing all season, and they should be fine.
I said specifically Evan Mobley. If he can lock up a team's best front court player all night, it's obviously beneficial, whether it's Giannis, whether it's Jason Tatum. So I think at least in the playoffs, everyone's going to start locking up more, and you need Evan Mobley to do that on a night-to-night basis.
You said Evan Mobley? That's not a bad. That's not a bad one. All right, next team is the Knicks.
This is Julius Randle, and I like to give people chances, and not because I believe in everybody, but I think situations matter. Julius Randle's first playoff run, he was the best player, and if Julius Randle's your best player, think odds are things aren't going to happen. The very next time he was in the playoffs, he walked into the playoffs, seemingly the same way this year. He went into the playoffs hurt. So, part of his bad play had, him coming back from injury. He's stepping into that same situation again, but he's stepping into that situation with a better team. And now he's seeing different coverages. He's seeing, there's a different thing around him. There should be more space between DiVincenzo going crazy, OG out there. If he's out there being able to space, I think Julius Randle, when he comes back, should be the X factor, because if he's playing how he plays in the regular season, this team should at least be a second-round team.
I went similarly with last pick. I said OG. If you can get an elite 3-and-D option, if he is healthy enough to play in the playoffs, obviously it does wonders for your team. You have DiVincenzo, you have Josh Hart, other guys who are performing really well in his absence. But I think OG needs to be that elite 3-and-D option. Take the pressure off of Randle and Brunson. And I think that they could win a couple series.
The next X factor is Julius Randle. He has been playing well in the playoffs in his career. And if they're looking to actually make the ECF, which I think there is a ceiling, they're going to need him to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to make it to the ECF this year unless Randle is playing well. We can move on to the Magic at the 5th seed. Who is the Magic's X factor?
I'm not going to lie. I didn't know. I just said Jalen Suggs. Paolo, you could say Franz's second help. I think this team is similar to the Cavs last year. Played well, but I think they'll get beat by an experienced team. So I guess when you look at all the top teams, they have good guards. If Jalen Suggs can prevent the good guards from having great nights, I'll take that.
With the Magic, with this team is young, so we don't really expect them to do anything. So having an X factor for a team with no real expectations is kind of counterintuitive. But for all intents and purposes, to pick a player, it would have to be Franz, because he was supposed to make a leap. He's up for an extension. Possibly he has not been able to shoot the 3 this year. And with a team that's already not great at spacing, for Paolo to really flourish, he needs as much space as possible. And Franz has to be able to hit the outside shot for things to really look good. So that guy could step out a little bit more and let Paolo operate if they're going to have a chance to knock off whoever they face in the first round, whether it be Cleveland, if they have a chance against Cleveland, or another team. We just don't know.
My X factor is Franz Wagner. His 3-point shot has completely went away this season. He's been actually terrible. And so they're going to need him to step up in the playoffs, provide spacing for the Magic. So he's definitely the X factor for the Magic. Let's move on. The Pacers, who are the X factor? I'll start. It's Tyrese Halliburton. He's been terrible for the last 3-4 months. And so for them to have any type of chance, they're going to need him to play well, actually get back to form. Pascal has actually been good since he got traded. And so he needs his some help on that end. So Tyrese Halliburton is my X factor for the Pacers.
I've been rethinking this one a lot. I originally had Pascal, but I will go Tyrese as well. Just for the fact it was before Pascal, but they were playing amazing basketball when Tyrese was playing the way he was at the start of the year. If he can facilitate, if he can be that second option to Pascal, it'll do wonders for them, obviously.
Yeah, it has to be Tyrese. He's supposed to be their best player. Supposed to be the engine of this offense. For this team to, they don't play no defense. So for this team to win games, they're gonna have to outscore people, and it starts with Tyrese. He has to go out there and give you 20 and 12 every night for them to be successful. Pascal has been good, but Pascal being good doesn't really do much for the team because you need Tyrese to make everybody else be better. Because Pascal, that's not his job. He's just he's just good on his own. Tyrese Halliburton has to be able to do his thing and unlock everybody else on that team. So if he's not doing that, they don't really have no fight, no real chance to win.
All right, next team is going to be, I believe, the Miami Heat with the 6th seed. Their X factor is Terry Rozier. I mean, they traded for him at the deadline, and they need him to play better than what he's been playing. They needed scoring in last year's finals and in the playoff run, and so they need him to provide that after losing some of their most impactful players in last year's run. So the Miami Heat's X factor this season or in the playoffs is going to be what's his name? Terry Rozier.
I utter the same sentiments, but it's like I know it's like we're supposed to be picking one player, but it's their backcourt in general between Terry and Tyler Hero. They have to be able to score consistently in the playoffs because they're going to be counted on, especially because you need Jimmy. If Jimmy could just focus on, picking his spots on offense and just, playing defense, that make this team much better. Because going into a series with Jimmy, your best offensive option, not that he can't, do it, but I don't think that's where he's best suited. I feel like all like the, quarter 1 through 3, just the steady play-by-play. I think you should be able to get a lot out of Terry and Tyler based on what you did. You paid Tyler and you traded for Terry, for what they do. Terry was a 20-point per game scorer basically for Charlotte. Hero was a 25 points per game before he went down. That was enough that, you could feel like Jimmy Butler will have enough energy come playoff time to do a lot more. And that's what they need him to do. That's the only way they're going to really survive.
I picked playoff Jimmy. We've seen what he can do in the past. If playoff Jimmy can turn to playoff Jimmy, all bets are off. I'm being honest.
Crazy.
I mean, it's what it is. He's done it twice now, ish. I know his last round wasn't amazing, but still played well at times. But they don't have the team to back him up now, so he has to carry. He has to carry the load. I think this ride for sure. You have Terry Rozier, but front court wise, you don't have the depth you had last year. So.
All right, next team is the 76ers. I think we all going to say Joel Embiid, especially with his health. He's an X factor for them in this playoffs. If he can come back, which he did come back tonight, I think right now, it was just halftime a few minutes ago. He had 12 points on like 4-9 shooting. If Joel Embiid can come back and actually be great, they can knock off the Bucks. And if they get the AC, we don't know. So, yeah.
Same thing as Joel Embiid. I'm looking at the standings. If Miami slips, if they lose 2 games and Philly wins this game tonight and they win another game, they move up to 7, it might be quiet for Milwaukee. I know it was a long time ago. It was the first game of the season, but Milwaukee and Philly went down to the last, 10 seconds of the game, and the Bucks defense ain't getting no better. And if anything, Tyrese Maxey's a much better player now than he was game 1 of this year. So that's a lot to go into. And with Joel Embiid, Buddy Hield might be, activated. He hasn't been the best, but Buddy Hield in the playoffs with Joel Embiid, garnering a lot of attention, he might just be able to shoot Milwaukee out the gym.
I said Tyrese. Maybe I'm guaranteeing Embiid's going to be Embiid. I get the injury. I get the playoff, whatever. But the second option has never been the guy with Embiid. So if Tyrese can finally take that over, do what Harden couldn't do last year, do what Ben Simmons couldn't do in the years prior. If Tyrese can finally be that second option, I guess guaranteeing or saying that Embiid's going to be Embiid, I think that just lifts their ceiling to pass the ECF.
All right, we got the 2 play-in teams. We can just go ahead and speed through this for the play-in teams. Kobe White. I got Kobe White for the Bulls, and I have the Hawks. Trae Young for health. I don't even know if he's coming back, but that's what I got for the
Hawks. Trae Young too. The only way they win a game is Trae Young. The Bulls, I put Fine God because I don't even know what they're going to do at this point in time.
Kobe and DeJounte. Trae Young ain't coming back, but DeJounte, DeJounte since he's been out, been king of the fourth quarter. He been wild.
80 shots a game. 80 shots a game. Drops 35. It is crazy.
Ain't nobody care when Kobe did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to the Western Conference. The Thunder right now are currently the 1 seed. For the Thunder, I have Lou Dort. They're gonna need him to be able to knock down his 3 ball, guard the opposing team's best perimeter player. He is an X factor for me.
I said Chet. Chet's got to be that too. When J-Dub can ball when he has to, but Chet needs to be the two-way guy he's meant to be. Yeah, that's about it. Obviously, the rebounding needs to get much better, but Chet needs to lock in offense and defense. A lot of good bigs in the West.
It has to be. I think it has to be Lou Dort for the same reason you uttered. He's also, this year he's been getting left wide open on purpose, and to his credit, he's shooting 40% from three. He has to be able to do that in the playoffs. If he's able to do that in the playoffs, eventually they're gonna have to step out there, and that just opens it up a lot more. But J-Dub, who likes to operate in the mid range and whatnot, Shea, who likes to operate in the mid range, it also allows for, like, just in case they decide that they need Josh Giddey on the court for any reason in the playoffs, you need as much space as possible because he's not going to be able to do anything if he can't get into the paint.
Next team is the Denver Nuggets. I got Michael Porter Jr. as an X factor. He's been insane from three this season. If his defense can elevate like he did last playoffs, they're going to need him to be a good defender and a good three-point shooter. If he's not knocking down his three like last year, they can be susceptible to losses. So they're going to need him to be great this postseason for them to be good.
I think it's Jamal Murray. And I know that sounds crazy because Jamal Murray is looked at as this great playoff performer. But he is, injured, dealing with some things. I don't know how that's going to fare him coming back into the playoffs, high pressure situation. First round, they're going to have a pretty tough matchup. They might still be able to get out, but, like, there's no slouch facing Phoenix, LA, Sacramento, or the Warriors. Like, it's still those tough matches based on the players that's in those series. And Jamal Murray, fresh off, coming off whatever he's coming off of, ramping up, I think it's going to be hard for him to, replicate that. So if he's not playoff Jamal Murray, I think it's going to be harder for this Nuggets team to win.
I had Jamal and someone else, but I kind of thought about it, and you got to give Jamal the respect. He's been a playoff performer the past couple of times, so I'm going to give him that. Aaron Gordon is my X factor. The defense that he had last year was huge. Defending LeBron, defending Durant, defending Booker when he came to the paint, huge. He has to do that again. Again, there are, like, forwards, wings, very good forwards and wings in the West, and I mean, I don't know who else is really picking him up besides maybe KCP or Christian Braun when he comes off the bench. MPJ's defense, I guess, but I think Aaron Gordon needs to be that primary defender in the post, like how he was last year. And I think they make another run.
Who are your X factor for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
That is a to be determined based on if Cat is playing or not. If Cat is back, my X factor is Cat. He's gonna have to be able to, make sure he's settled into this role, which he did this whole year. But he has to be able to make shots, especially when he gets his opportunities, because a lot of the attention is gonna be on Ant. For that same sentiment, I also feel like it has to be Jaden McDaniels, because for Jaden McDaniels to be, worth what he got paid, he has to be able to, play that elite defense, but also provide them something on offense, especially in those mid range, where he likes to get to. He has to at least, force the defense to worry about him for, like, this team to really reach their potential.
Cat is my X factor too. He hasn't been a good playoff performer in his career, and for them to get to like a WCF, they're going to need him to perform, especially in this deep West. I think Anthony Edwards is not ready to be that sole number one driving force to, like, actually propel them to, like, WCF potential. So they're going to need Cat. They're going to need Rudy to be playable in the playoffs. They're going to need a combination of stuff to actually reach their full potential. They're not the most experienced playoff team. They're not the oldest team. So they're going to need their star players to be star players. I think Max stepped out for a second, so I don't know if he's here for okay.
I just got back. Sorry. My pick is similar with Boston. It's Anthony Edwards. It's similar with Jason Tatum. Edwards has seemed a little inconsistent at times. He was good last year, though. He was in the one playoff series last year. He was good. I'm not going to lie. I don't have confidence in Cat to solo an entire playoff series. So if Anthony Edwards can play at his top level, I think they definitely have a chance to make some noise.
Next team is the Clippers.
The Clippers.
Kawhi.
X factor.
Kawhi.
Excuse me.
Kawhi. I'm sorry. I had to say this one. We've seen what happens when Kawhi is the number one player on our team. We see what happens when peak Kawhi is playing basketball. When healthy Kawhi plays, which hasn't been for a long time, I put them against anybody. If it's a healthy Clippers team, I will put them against anybody in either conference. PG just has to be PG. Harden has to do his thing, but Kawhi is your best player. Kawhi needs to play Kawhi.
I feel like the Clippers X factor is the medicals. Like I don't think it's just one, specific player.
That's fine.
But if I had to, make it a player, I'd say it's James Harden. Since the All-Star break, James Harden hasn't really been doing anything. You know what I'm saying? He's actually been worse. For them to, go anywhere, they need, James Harden to be who he is or what we think of James Harden, at least half of that. And other than that, they just got to be on the court. I think they're deep enough and they're coached well enough that they should be able to figure out anything else. If somebody's shooting bad or whatnot. Like Paul George started off the game 1-9 the other night, and he basically hit the dagger. Like they could, be bad for stretches and still figure it out because they're able to play defense and they have Kawhi. You know what I mean? For whatever that's worth.
All right. For my X factor, it's gonna be James Harden. They need him to show up. I'm sorry. They need him to show up. They need him to be that playmaker, that third scoring option. I don't think like Kawhi can propel them for so much, but he's getting older. He's injury prone. I don't think you want to put that stress on him. So you need Paul George, you need Harden to be those second and third options. You need them to play well because with how deep the West is, you're not going to make the finals. You're not getting past Denver unless James Harden is James Harden. I don't care what nobody say. So that is my X factor for the Clippers. Dallas. For Dallas, I got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving hasn't been himself in the playoffs for a minute. And so for them to actually reach the WCF, obviously Luka got to play well. But again, Kyrie Irving got to be Kyrie Irving. I already don't know who else would be, to be honest.
To be fair, Kyrie Irving has been playing very well. Like he's had an underrated season. He's playing very well. Like he's been fine. I don't think that they have a Kyrie problem or gonna have a Kyrie problem. I think their X factor is it's Derek Lively / Daniel Gafford. Like between those two, because they don't have the perimeter defense, but they have to make sure nothing goes to the rim. Like everything has to get stopped at the rim. Derek Lively has to be able to stay on the court. Same thing with Gafford. Like everything will revolve around what they do, how they rebound and whatnot, because they're gonna have to outscore everybody based on how their team is set up. And if they're not going to get stopped, they got to at least, end, possessions with rebounds. And they have to stay on the court for that. They can't get into no foul trouble. Lively has had trouble, early on in the year, kind of middle of the year, just staying on the court, not fouling.
Mine's Luka. We saw what Luka could do without Kyrie. I'm sorry. We saw what Luka could do without Kyrie. We saw Luka in the playoff series against Phoenix. If Luka can take over a game, he's the best offensive player in the league. Sorry. Luka can almost win games all by himself. So if Luka can do that, then I mean, I don't think they beat Denver.
Luka ain't never won a series by himself. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never won a series by himself.
You don't think he beat this? You don't think he beat the Suns team by himself?
That run was a lot of Jalen Brunson, also a lot of Spencer Dinwiddie. Like that was a lot. That was a very good team. Everybody chipped in. Luka was the best player, but Spencer showed up. Jalen Brunson showed up. That's why he got paid. DFS was there doing his thing.
I agree. Brunson was hooping.
Yeah, it's not like it wasn't just Luka going bananas. Luka barely played in the Utah series. That was Jalen Brunson that got him. That basically had that series. Basically,
Luka's the catalyst. If Luka's not playing like Luka, they're not going past the first round.
Well, we never seen that. We never seen that happen. It's not going to happen.
What?
He's one of the best playoff performers in the league. That's never going to be a
good.
Thing. Next team, the Pelicans is Brandon Ingram. They've been treading water without him. Still been a pretty good team, but they need him to be back and in effect for the playoffs for them to actually reach the ceiling of the Western Conference Finals that they have. So I got Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans.
I just said Zion because I don't know what Zion we're gonna get. If we get good Zion or bad Zion, if we get athletic or non-athletic. I just said Zion.
It's Zion. We've seen like with this Pelicans team, not this same Pelicans team, but like pretty much the same Pelicans team. We've seen Brandon Ingram. He in the playoffs, he specifically performed well. on it with this Pelicans roster. We literally haven't seen Zion with in the playoffs at all. So he's the biggest X factor because if he's their best player, it's gonna go with him. We know what Brandon Ingram could do with this team in the playoffs. We don't know what Zion could do, and we expect him to do numbers and be this guy. So it's Zion.
All right, next team is going to be the Suns. I got Bradley Beal. I mean, with all three of them healthy, they've been great in a limited sample size. I think it's like a 58, 59, 1% or something like that. So I got Bradley Beal as being the X factor in the playoffs.
It is Bradley Beal. Devin Booker, his playoff career is not like he's a great playoff performer. Like he has a reputation of being bad in elimination games, but he did go nuclear last year. For all the Kevin Durant slander that's out there, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Like whatever you want to say, what it looked like, he's still probably gonna go into the playoffs averaging 25 plus on great efficiency. So you're not gonna really be able to blame him, but you can blame the injury prone guy who's like a couple notches below the top two guys, especially if he's getting paid that money and they give up a lot of things to go get you.
I agree. I have KD as well because I think KD at a ceiling could be that much. You know what I mean? KD could take you that far. But as far as Bradley being like, if he could be that third option, that's all that matters. Well, what's funny about that, Latif? What's funny about that?
I thought you were saying KD. I thought you were saying KD was X factor.
I think he can be. KD could be that one player who could put you over the top.
X factor generally
players in the league.
But that's not like the connotation of like what we use in X factor for. It's like who's gonna make or break the team winning the series or not. It's not gonna be Kevin Durant because you expect Kevin Durant to do what he's doing. You expect Luka to do what he's doing. So who's that other guy that you're gonna
That's what I'm saying. I know, but they can do more. They can do more.
Right.
We've seen KD do more. We've seen Luka do more. They can do more.
I don't even know what that means.
So then, but if that preference, that means we shouldn't just do this. We should just name the best player off every team.
No, because not everyone's like that. Have we seen guys like? Have we seen anybody on the Knicks do more yet? Have we seen anybody on Cleveland do more? Like
we've seen Jalen Brunson. We've seen Jalen Brunson win a series by himself without Luka. We also seen him win a series.
But I don't think he's getting past the Titans of the. I don't think he's getting past the Titans of the East with just him hooping by himself.
But Luka also himself is not getting past.
Luka can get
he
past.
Never did that. We never seen him do that. Never seen him do that. But we don't know that.
All right. We're not getting caught up on this. Next team. I don't know. Next team is the Kings. I got Keegan Murray, especially with Malik Monk going down. They're gonna need him to step up actually and be that third star. He's gonna have to pull his weight even more than what he's been. He's been great this year, but somehow, some way, he's gonna have to get like some shot creation ability, something. If they have any chance of even making that a play-in. I don't think they are. I actually think they're not making the playoffs this year, but I think Keegan Murray is an X factor for sure.
I have Keegan Murray as well.
I got Sabonis. Last time we seen Sabonis in the playoffs, he was out there looking scared. He has to, attempt shots outside the paint. You feel me? For them to actually do anything, because the way the Warriors had him last year, he looked like he did not belong there.
I see that point. So
and
next
bro was getting stomped on the chest and everything. He's the X factor. He gotta show up, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. Last two teams, we got the Lakers. I got D'Angelo Russell. They're gonna need D'Lo to be way better than he was last year in the playoffs. He's been amazing since he was inserted into the starting lineup. He is definitely the Lakers X factor this come playoff run. They know Austin Reeves probably gonna be good. They know AD, LeBron gonna do everything. They need D'Lo to be that fourth guy getting buckets.
It is D'Lo or Reeves. You can guarantee Reeves as much as you want. I think Reeves still has to cement that for one more playoff run.
There's no real evidence that Reeves is better than D'Lo.
That's fine, but he just showed
in the playoffs.
He was a better option last year. And LeBron.
I'm just saying. I'm saying in totality, D'Lo, like I would say, is a better player than Austin Reeves. But playoffs, Reeves
for me
more effective.
Reeves scoring is one. Is D'Lo shooting? If D'Lo can still hit it from three, that's huge.
What?
Who did you say? Austin Reeves? For yours, Q. Is it D'Lo?
No, I said D'Lo.
Okay. Last team is the Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe you could say like Andrew Wiggins, something like that. But I think
said
Kuminga has
anybody,
been. Go ahead.
anybody who can help out Steph. Anyone who can help out Steph.
Yeah, I think
don't
that's
even
going to
know
be
who it
Kuminga
is.
though. I think that's going to be Kuminga.
It's
But
disgusting.
again, I don't think the Warriors or the Kings are making the playoffs. I think it's going to be the Lakers. So yeah, to get
You think
that
the
8th spot.
Suns? You think the Suns stay in the playing game, or who do you think moves down?
No, the Suns
I
are going to
think-
beat the Kings, and then the Lakers are going to beat the Kings.
Yeah, I think in a one-game scenario, against De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, give me Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Like in a
Yes.
one-game scenario.
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. If it matches up this way too, I'm probably taking the Lakers over the Thunder. I'm not gonna lie.
Hopefully, I need the Thunder to make it out of the first round for shade purposes and for a bet. So I kind of need that.
What's your bet?
I bet someone in Discord $50 and the Thunder are making it out the first round. So
I don't know if we're making it out of the first round. Depending, we play. It's going to be youth versus experience.
Y'all,
Whoever
they
they
can
play
be the Suns.
It's going to be the Suns.
They can be the Suns.
I'm just saying it's going to be the Suns. It's going to be the Lakers, or on some off chance the Warriors. I guess maybe the Kings.
I don't I'm like KD and Book is KD and Book, but like, again, bro, they rest of their team. I'm just not like Grayson Allen is great, but like, they can't guard anybody. They're terrible.
Grayson Allen.
We beat the Suns this year though.
If Grayson Allen and Yusuf Nurkic are your third and fifth best player, you're not a great team. I don't even know why they was throwing around super team all last year because Bradley Beal gets paid a lot of money. Bradley Beal has not been a top 25 player in like 5 years, bro. And they was throwing around super team. This team was not good. But for a round against some young bucks, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see it.
They're not losing to the Suns. The Suns just can't
guard anymore. I'm scared of the Lakers. I'm not really scared of the Suns. Maybe it's kind of bite me.
I'm not either. All right. Okay, so that's that segment.